Hello everyone, my name is Siddharth Rangan and this is a tutorial about a map reduce done using Java program. So this is the use case that we are going to consider, that is uh, there is an election going on in a country called Utopia, and these are the contestants that are contesting. And here we see that there is each booth that they have. We create a text file for each of the booth, and the text file contains the votes that the people have given to each of the contestants in a sequence. So this would be how the booth 1, that is for booth 1, this is the vote in the sequential order for the candidates. Now a quick look into the coding that we have done. This is the mapper coding that we have. It extends to the mapper class, which takes an object and text as input and gives back text and int writable. So we are storing the value of 1 into the variable that we create called as 1, and this is the map function. What we are going to do here is that we are going to take a text value, and if suppose in a line there is more than one text, we are going to split them using the space that we have. So for each of the key, words that is there, we just give a key value pair, such as suppose consider a word jaja, it would be jaja comma 1. That would be the key value pair that is generated from the mapper. Before going on to the reducer coding, I would like to explain what happens in between. That is the output from mapper, how it reaches the reducer. So here we see that the mapper actually generates a key value pair for each of the word. That is, for a word say a jaja, it will create a value pair that is 1. So it will create similarly for all the words and then send it to the shuffle. Shuffle actually groups each of the key value pair which have the same key. So this group is then sent to the reducer that performs the job of that counts the number of similar key value pairs and gives that as the output. So here we have the reducer code. It extends the reducer class, which takes a text and int writable as input and gives a text and int writable as output. So this is the reduce function that we have, and here we see that as I said earlier, from this shuffle the output comes as a group which contains key value pairs which contain the similar key. So we are giving a variable called vote count, initializing it to 0, so that we are able to count the number of key value pairs that are in the group. It increments the vote count with each key value pair that we find out and gives an output that is key and the vote count that is in total. This is the application code that we have, and here it takes this is the function, and it takes an argument, and we are setting the input path from where we need to take the input text files, and we are also setting the output path. Here we are setting the output key, which will be of the text, and we are setting the output value, which will be of int writable class. And here we are setting the mapper and reducer class, that is our mapper and reducer codes. Once this process is complete, we submit the job. So now the next step would be to create an executable jar file of the project that will run in the HDFS. So before creating an executable jar file, we need to see the Java compiler compliance. That is, we need the compiler compliance to be 1.7 because Cloudera VM supports JDK 1.7. If the project was created in some other Java version, we need to rebuild the project and give OK. Once this is done, we can export the project into an executable jar file. Once this has been completed, we give the location where we need to save the jar file. So my jar file has been created over here. This is my jar file. Next step would be to take this jar file into our HDFS. So for this we will use an FTP application, that is like FileZilla. So this is the FileZilla application. and we are going to connect it to the Cloudera VM. This is the IP of it, and we give the username password along with the port, which will be 22 for SFTP. So once the connection is established, we need to transfer the jar file into the VM. So you can drag and drop and transfer the files. I've already transferred the Utopia jar. So in order to verify whether the transfer has completed, we'll go back to the VM, and here you see in the desktop that the jar has been transmitted. Before running this jar, the one thing that we'll have to do is go to the web interface, that is Hue, create a directory, that is oat count input, from where it will fetch the inputs, text files. Create a directory like this and go inside and upload the text files which contain the ports of each of the booths. Once this is done, we are ready to run the jar file. So into the HDFS, so we need to give the path where the jar file exists. So it is in my desktop, and I'm going to use the Hadoop jar command. So this is the Hadoop jar command that we need to run, that is the jar that we need to run, and the input from where we fetch the inputs and where we need to store the output. We see that the map reduce job has started. In order to verify this, we can go over to the web UI and look at the job browser. We see that here we see that a map reduce job has started. Here it is performing the task of counting the vote that each contestant has generated. This may take some time. Here we see that the map reduce job has been completed. Now we need to see the output, so go over to the file browser. There is an output directory that is generated. Go into the reduce part, and here we see the contestant and the number of votes that they have earned. So this is a basic intro into how a map reduce task is done in the HDFS. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for listening.